I'm back with another update before I shut down for the night. We flipped it over, the bottom, got the bottom of that welded. I still gotta weld that one and that one on both sides, but I do have the insides of all of them. And all of these were preheated. So that way I could weld them, but then I now have my front spring hangers tacked in. So what we're gonna do, I got the wrong U-bolt set, so I can get in a set of those and not trip over my cord. But what we're gonna do is this piece here, that piece there is gonna go under. I'm gonna take these pieces here and bolt them on like so. I'm gonna have to get a couple of washers on the inside of each one to space them out that little bit there. It's just under 1/8 of an inch on each side. I didn't get the right ones of those, but that's okay. I gotta go get bolts, but Tractor Supply does not sell a 2.5 inch one of these or 3 inch, 2.5, 3, oh hell, I don't remember. They don't sell it, so I'm gonna go ahead and get some washers, a couple grade 8 bolts, and we'll do shackles for that. These springs are backwards. Damn it. Trying not to fucking die here. Okay. So the springs are backwards. On the Toyota, this is the front. And that is the rear. However, the distance from here to here is longer than that is to that. I need the short side forward, which I have done some research. They said that it is okay to switch these. Just like the Jeep, you can flip it around so that way it's got a little bit of a longer wheelbase, but here we're looking to shorten it. I wanted these here because, again, I could not get the right size of these, so I had to split it in half, and that's a 3/4 of an inch gap here. So I wanted them butted up against this so I can get this weld here, this weld, and get a weld on the inside of both of these. That will be more than strong enough to hold what we're holding. And then I need to put my 2 cross members in the middle there still. And then I need to cut the stuff off of the axle and get those cradles welded onto it. But that will have to be another day. It is 11:30 and I am fucking exhausted. But that's how far we've gotten tonight. I'm hoping tomorrow or Monday night to have this thing back on its axle, but I'm not going to get too excited. I have a feeling Thursday I'm gonna be putting wood on it. I have a piece of 1/2 inch plywood over there, 4x8 sheet, that I'll put on it for my floor. Until I can afford a 4x8 sheet of plate. But that's what we got for now. Okay. Rear shackles are in and welded. The front mounts are in and welded. Inside now. I didn't weld these because I'm actually going to grind these tacks down, and I'm going to put another piece of plate here. It comes up just about there. That'll happen later. Got those corners welded on both sides. Now I just need to do the axle stuff, get that all done, and still have to trim that, and get my cross members in here. But those do not have to be done right this second. So, that's the update. So, we've got all those brackets cut off of the axle. I have not ground them, but right now I really don't care because they're just out of the frickin' way. We've got our axle centered on our springs. We've got the right amount of distance between them. And we've got our pinion set slightly upwards. So that way, even if it does catch on anything, it's just gonna skip over. And we don't really have to worry too much about it anyways. Our perches are all welded in. So we're going to go ahead and tack those on there, put our U-bolts on it, make sure it is where we want it to be when we flip the trailer over. And we are ready to flip the trailer over after that is bolted together. So I'll update you again. Well, it's on its wheels. I only have the perches tacked up in there because I wanted to find out how tall it was before I went and welded those. And what I'm finding is this trailer from the bottom of there to the floor is 25 inches. And that's too much. I think it's way too much, actually. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna knock the spring perches off. We'll unbolt this spring, roll the axle forward and then back, and we'll do spring under and see how I like that. But I don't know. This would work great for an off-road trailer. But I still think, I think 25 inches is just too much. I'm going to pull up YouTube, see what other people have done, and see what it looks like on theirs. And then I'll update you when I decide what I think I should do. So, we went through and flipped the axle, put the perches on the bottom, or on the top, I mean. It brought it down to 22 inches there, or 23 inches under the axle, and this is 20 inches at the tongue of clearance underneath the underneath these 3-inch bars here. So I'm gonna go ahead, get those all, get the perches welded in tight, get the U-bolts tightened up good, and I'm gonna put a tack on the bottom of each one of them so they can't come off. And then the same thing with each and every one of these bolts. I'm gonna put a tack on them just to keep them from coming out. And then I've got my 2 cross members I need to put in here. I've got my plywood I need to put on it. Spare tire mount for the front. And I've got to build 2 mounts that come off for this. I'm gonna have 2 mounts right here off the side that will bolt on, that my grill, this little 2-burner Brinkman grill, will bolt on, and that way I can take that with me. I got some work to do to that too, but not too bad. Just a little bit of sheet metal work. It just bolts on from underneath here. It ain't nothing holding that thing on there, so I'll build a bracket for it. But there we go. I'll update you when I get a little farther along. Jack's welded on. These two cross members are welded in. I tacked the U-bolts to the axle just so that way I had a little bit extra on there. Probably didn't need to and probably gonna regret doing it, but I did it anyways. I put a tack on the inside of each one of these nuts, just a little tiny thing just to kind of hold them on there. And I'll probably regret that too, but that's all right. I'm going to I've got another piece of angle there that I need to cut in half and put here. And I thought I was going to have to cut these completely off, but they actually clear the tire. I'm still going to cut them off because I've already started cutting them, but I didn't actually need to. The cross members do hang off just a tiny bit, about 1/4 of an inch on each side, but that's all right, don't care. I need to prep this section here with the grinder. I need to grind this out a little bit so that way the bar will fit up top of there. This one here, that's gonna go on there, weld there and there and there, and I'll have a bolt coming through it that'll hold my spare tire. The problem that I'm running into, I put this on without thinking about the spare tire. So I need to check, make sure I can get a spare tire on there. Other than that, it's okay. And after I get that cross member on and that on, I'll be ready to throw my plywood on it. And then I need to tip it up and I need to tighten up my U-bolts and get my lights on. And that's gonna be about it. All right. Wood's in. I still need to self-tapper it down. I still need to put the lights on, and I still need to build the bracket for the spare tire. I was gonna have it just sitting on here, but with that jack where it's at, I couldn't get the jack to fold up and down. But with it sitting like this, it clears perfectly. So that's the way we've got to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just do a bolt off of here, plate the top of this, and make a like a angular piece that goes up, something of that nature. I haven't decided. Again, I'm just using things that I have around the house here. So I had this broken piece, 4x8 sheet of plywood here. It broke right there. And it's only like 1/2 inch or something like that. It's fucking tiny. Very thin, but it'll hold what we need it to. And later on, I will build the drive over fenders and stuff like that that go around, come up, down like that. When it is sitting behind my Jeep, it is angled a little bit up, but that's okay. I could have left it spring over to where the trailer sat higher, but I think that would have just been ridiculous. This thing has a hell of an approach angle already, so that's not really necessary. I need to tighten up the hitch, the little screw underneath it to take up some of the slack, and I need to get my lights and wire on it. But it's almost done. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the finale of the trailer build. We got her built, and she works. We made a 326 mile trip to Kansas with the go-kart on it. And now we're on our way back to Colorado with my new Honda Odyssey build. And we'll see how she does. Thanks for watching.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.